Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. I don't know why I was doing this, like it's came from the fingers. But today we are talking about something that is very, it's just a weird topic to talk about. But these are books that I actually do think I would like, but there is something holding me back from actually reading them. So these are a series of books that I think I have a good chance of really enjoying, but I can't quite put my finger on why I have not picked them up. So I have theories. I have, other ways of looking at this that might be what's holding me back from reading these books. But let's, just get into it. So first off, when I go into these, obviously if you like these books, there's nothing wrong with liking these books. The whole point is that I probably would like these books. Also, I'm going to talk about things that, some of these authors might have problematic worldviews that are holding me back. Don't take that as a personal attack on you or your belief for how you exist. I understand that, not everybody has the time to research everything a person or an author has said in their life, and also that authors' views can change. And also, we all have blind spots as well. Blind spots are something everybody has. So your beliefs are only subject to your actual beliefs. So I'm not saying that if you enjoy this piece of media, that makes you a bad person or anything like that. You might not have known. It might just be a blind spot because of other things. That's up to you. That's your own personal choice. Some people in the past have said, I always think I'm right, so I'm working to make sure that I preface that I am not. I'm just a man. I have plenty of blind spots myself, so, just take everything I say with a grain of salt. And if you do enjoy these books, please tell me why. That's kind of one of the things I want to know why. What is good about these books? Make me care about them. So first off, the one that's hilarious to me is that Cotton Candy Massacre by Christopher Robinson. I don't know why. There's 3 of these, and every time one of them comes out, a bunch of people who I always respect their opinions are like, yeah, I love this book, it's rad. And I'm like, cool, that's cool. It's supposed to be a slasher novel, which again, cool. It's also clown-based. So I'm like, cool. I mean, I guess there's a prompt for Catcher, so maybe I should take the time out to actually read one of these. But I think so. There's a few things that are my problems with this. One is that these books always seem rather chunky. When people have gone, I'm like, it's a chunky slasher? Ooh, I don't know, man. I like fast-paced, quick slashers. It's that's kind of holding me back a little bit. The other thing is some of the other novels that the author has written has been a bit I don't know what this author's trying to say here, which of course, that's why you read the book and you find out yourself, dum-dums. But I feel like there's a few books that he's written that I haven't heard the best about, but everybody who reads Cotton Candy Massacre seems to love Cotton Candy Massacre. And there are other longer slasher books that I did like. I loved Tastes Like Candy by Ivy Tholen. I thought that was a great book. And that is a bit longer. Some of the later Halloween Slaughter and Final Slaughter from the Camp Slaughter Sergio Gomez trilogy, those are a bit longer books. So I don't know what it is that's holding me back from Cotton Candy Massacre. So if you love Cotton Candy Massacre, tell me why. Tell me why you love Cotton Candy Massacre. Because I want to actually read these. But every time it comes up, there's a bunch of very applicable reading events that come up every year that this would fit in perfectly. And for some reason I'm always like, no, I will not. I will not this year. Maybe next. But I always keep putting it off. Everyone loves these books. Why? And are you a person who likes slashers in general in the written form? Because maybe that might, pepper my expectations a little bit. Because I guess I'm just a slasher snob. Is that a thing? Oh God, I'm a snob. A snobster? Anyways, next up, any book by Josh Malerman. I don't know why. I don't have a good reason why. I legitimately have 0 good reasons why. It's just these books all sound really boring to me. And I don't know why. I'm sure I would enjoy them. Some of them have really cool ideas. But I'm just I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to read them. But everyone I know who who has read them talks like soliloquies about them, and they talk about how beautiful and meaningful they are, and I'm like, whoa, okay, cool. Like incidents around the house, I was like, whoa. And then someone told me it's like it takes place from like a 12-year-old perspective, and I was like, ugh, children. So I feel like I come up with a reason every time somebody like comes up and they finally start selling me on a Josh Malerman book, and then they're like, yeah, it's all about children. Ugh, gross. I don't want to read about those little cretins. No offense to people with kids. I'm just joking, but I don't really want to read a book from a kid's perspective. So that's one thing. But like I'm sure there's like good Josh Malerman books that I would be more inclined to like. If you're a big Josh Malerman fan, hit me on the head with your recs to make me maybe try out. One of the goals is to maybe revisit this video in the future as like a vlog format and read a lot of these if you can convince me. Third, this one is very much me, but it's the Cryptid Billionaire series, and this is a monster romance series, and all the covers look so cute. It's so cute. I love the way it looks. It's all good. I love it. I love cryptids. I'm into monster romance. I can get down to clown. Unless it's a slasher book about clowns, apparently. But, it's something that, I wouldn't normally enjoy. But the thing holding me back is that they're billionaires. They're billionaires. They're billionaires. Why are they billionaires? I don't like billionaires. Billionaires are the worst people in the world. So now Bigfoot, my main man, you don't become a billionaire by being a good boss. You become a Bigfoot billionaire by taking advantage of your workers. Because that's what they do. That's what billionaires do. They take advantage of the working class. And my Bigfoot, he is not one to take advantage of the working class. He's a working class cryptid. Same with Mothman. Mothman is a working class cryptid. He was trying to warn those people not to go on a bridge. And he still went on a bridge. But he was putting his thing out. Loomis, you just changed my thing. I'm trying to rant about Mothman. As I was saying, Mothman was trying to save people from the bridge. He wanted the working class to have a happy, safe holiday. And you know who doesn't want to have the working class to have a happy, safe holiday? Billionaires. So, if anything, it feels like it's disingenuous to the cryptid. Mothman is a very nice man. He's trying to save you. He's not trying to take advantage of the workers and make billions and give himself big raises, because that's how you become a billionaire. It's the billionaire part. It's the billionaire part. Can someone tell me how, if you've read these books, tell me how they make their money? Tell me. Because then maybe I'll like it. Maybe if it's like, oh, Bigfoot, he's a big environmentalist and he solved global warming. I'll be like, okay. I mean, we're getting into fictional territory here. It's like, it's the same thing with Iron Man. I can't get behind Iron Man. He's a billionaire. Fuck him. Fuck Iron Man. I hate him. Man. Except for Loomis, apparently. Loomis, are you an Iron Man fan? Is that why you're meowing at me today? Oh, okay. All right. So we have one person who might want to read the Cryptid Billionaires in this house, and his name is Loomis. He's a cat. Anyways, my entire thing is trying to figure out and trying to wrap my head around how they're billionaires and how they can be good people if they're billionaires. Because I've seen billionaires. They're all the worst people in the world. Next up, this is just an entire genre. An entire genre. And that's thrillers, man. Thrillers. I don't know what it is about thrillers as a genre. So I feel like my real problem with thrillers as a genre is because they normally take place in the real world. And as such, there is very specific things that you're trying to say when you write a book that's a thriller in the real world. You have to, kind of wrap your head around, the relationship with the cops. Well, how does this book portray the police? Because ACAB, bitch. And then there's, things about, how is it treating I read a Riley Sager book, and, one of the not villains, but is, a ha-ha, is, a person who is clearly going through, addiction, right? And I find a lot of thriller books will criminalize the homeless and twist a very unsympathetic view for people who are going through drug addiction and stuff like that. And when it's trying to set up its villains. So I feel like thrillers is very much like in tandem with my big issues with something like men's adventure as an entire genre, which makes sense because most of men's adventure are just kind of like thrillers with a frilly hat and a gun put on them. So it's just like I think that I need to find somebody who has like my similar worldviews, but will also read thrillers, because I think that would help. Because I just get worried because like half the time I read a thriller and then I'm like, oof, what does that say about society? What is the author trying to say? Whereas like other books you can just read and you'd be like, oof. And I know people don't read for like, there is reading for like entertainment and there's reading for something that is like important to you in life, and those are two very different things, or you're looking to get different things out of those books, and I just can't turn my brain off to go and just go on a thriller ride. I don't know what it is. And also some of them are really boring. That's just me. The boring part is just because I've read boring books. I'm sure there's like wonderful thrillers out there. My main issue with thrillers is that it's like every time I read them I'm just like, oof, ugh. Don't like that. Don't like that. But I'm sure I would enjoy many of them. So tell me your favorite thrillers and why they're actually pretty good. Next up, War and Peace. There's too many names. There's too many names. There's too many names. I tried to listen to War and Peace and it was just a bajillion names thrown at you. It was like a t-shirt cannon, but it was just names. They're like, bam, 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 you get a name, you get a name. And I was like, there are so many names. And like, I know it's supposed to be like a criticism or a commentary upon bureaucracy, but there's so many names. There's so many names. There's so many names. Everyone's got a name. You're like, oh my God, there's a bajillion names. And I only listened to like a half hour of it. I was like, there are so many names. There's so many names. That's why. And you might be like, Andrew, when would you ever read War and Peace? Well, obviously, one, I obviously tried, okay? Be nice to me. Two, I actually do normally like very depressing, very long Russian art. So, you know, I love, one of my favorite movies of all time is the movie Solaris, which is like a 4-hour movie about a man who's very sad. And it's just a treatise on the infallibility of memory and the impossibility of ever regaining what you've lost in life. And it's, you'll never hear me talk about that again because I keep my very favorite movies to the chest when it comes to booktube, because I don't want some of these people to come in here and be like, I watched it and it was like Solaris, more like Borlaris, and then I'd be like crying. I'd be like, no! It's about being sad for 4 hours. How dare you? Anyways, 6. Fear Street. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Fear Street. I'll go on other streets, but not the Fear Streets, man. Well, it might also just be like those YA like horror thrillers that like were so important to people growing up, and it's not that I think these are bad. In fact, half the time people read them and talk about them, I was like, oh, that sounds good, that sounds interesting. But every time I have had one in front of me, I've just not read it, and I can't bring myself to read it. I can read Goosebumps, I can read like, you know, when it comes to like, you know, Bunnicula was great. It's for some reason it's the young adult early like Fear Streets and like the Christopher Pike novels of the time, and like it's not a criticism of the content. It's like I think I would like them, but I guess they just don't seem to be very full of monsters. Maybe that's it, because like most of the Fear Streets and like the Christopher Pike books, they don't look like they have a lot of monsters in it. Are there monsters in those books? Maybe I'm pretty shallow and I'm only here for the monsters. I have a feeling you're only here for the zip line. What do you mean? But it's like it's one of those things where it's just like every time I see a cover, I'm like, well, I mean, it kind of looks like it's like halfway through to thriller and horror. Like it's like a weird like thing. So it's just like, are there monsters in those books? Because like maybe that's why I like the Goosebumps, because I read them and I was like, damn, that's a weird monster. Like Camp Jelly Jam, that's a weird ass monster. That monster weird. That's fun. Are other Fear Street books like that? I don't know. Tell me. Make me read a Fear Street book. Don't. I was gonna say bring a gun and like force me to do it, but I was like, don't do that. Actually, don't do that, please. Next up, and not for the reasons that most annoying men on this frickin' stupid channel stupid platform have. But it's the ACOTAR and Fourth Wing. So ACOTAR is because like I've heard like conflicting tales upon the author's political beliefs, and it's like it's not the fact that because like I don't have anything wrong with Romantasy. Romantasy was one of my favorite books of last year. Long Live Evil. I thought it was great, and like I'm down with people getting it on with Faye. Like you go girls. Like, that's awesome. Go for it. I'm not one of those people who's like, I've been trying to get my wife into fantasy for years, but now they're reading this. And I was like, well, bitch, why don't you read it? Because you probably would also like it. And then you can introduce her to something, and then you could actually make something out of it instead of a dumb fucking Instagram video where you're going like, I can't believe she's reading about fairies. And it's like, go away, man. Let her read in peace. Get out of here. Get out of here. But it's only the questionable political beliefs, and that also that I don't know is one of the problems is like, especially when it's like a modern, famous author. Then I'm like, am I gonna have to scroll through tweets to figure this out? How am I gonna figure this out? Like, has anyone who read these books feel like there's any questionable political things that bleed into the books? Because if not, then I probably will give them a chance. Fourth Wing is like a little bit of the same, is that there was like very specific things that I heard about the author's political beliefs that made me go like, huh? And like that, again, it's like it's very similar to that, in that I just can't figure out exactly what it is. And like also it's just like a human is a human. Beliefs change, viewships changed, the relationship with the world's changed. Like you can learn things and have a new opinion and be nuanced and all of those things. So like, I understand. And also it's like I read a whole bunch of things that have like questionable stuff in it all the time. So it's like I'm not coming at you. It's just for whatever reason that was what's like stopping me from getting into those. And also I guess the other thing is that like just burned off of I think it's this real fear of like, because I grew up on the Harry Potter like books, and like the Harry Potter books and the movies, they're all like really fun material, and then you find out as you age that J.K. Rowling is literally the worst human being ever. She's like the modern day H.P. Lovecraft, and you're like, damn. Hopefully once she passes, and then you get like a revamping of her material, a la what they do with H.P. Lovecraft, and I do like what they are doing with like Arkham horror in general. So it's like it's not. Anyways, that's a different thing. But like I think that I've been burned on that. So like if there's like a big famous series where like people are like, well, there's some questionable stuff going on, I'm just afraid. I don't want that to happen again. Loomis, why are you being like this? Normally, Loomis is good when I record videos, as much as he can be good about anything. But anyways, he's not being good today. But I think I'm just, like, scared. I'm scared to get into these, like, very big, larger-than-life book. And it's like, again, there's so many blind spots that everyone has. Like, it's just like, I have so many... I love the Twilight books, and the Twilight books have a ton of problematic shit in them. So, like... I'm not trying to get on a high horse here. It's more like I'm afraid the horse is going to kick me in the face. Because one of those horses already did, okay? So I'm scared about the hoofs going in the face. I'm not getting on the high horses. I can't get on them. Next up, true crime. A lot of things about true crime are, there's like, I like nonfiction quite a bit, and I can enjoy a well-told true crime story, but the problem is, even more so than anything else that I've talked about on this list, true crime can have a real negative impact on the world. A lot of it depends on who is telling the story, how they're telling the story, what their beliefs are going into the story. Like, I read Deviant by Harold Schechter, and like, I'm sure he's changed his views because it was written like but it was all about the Ed Gein case. But like there was all these very problematic readings of Ed Gein's psychology, and you're just like, ooh, like that would have had a very negative impact on the world. And, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know if I can continue reading them because I know now that there is a wider impact to how people view the world because of true crime. And then also it's just like anything. I have been a little burnt on true crime, where you follow people that you think are good in the thing, true crime sphere, and then it turns out, oh, they not good. They not good at all. So maybe this is another thing about like another horse that's kicked me, and I'm a bit scared to go in there. Like, does anyone cover ethical true crime? Because like there is a good reason to like cover the subject. It's interesting subject matter, but like, is there an ethical person who covers it? Please tell me there is. And last, but certainly weirdly least, I don't know why, man. The Talisman by Stephen King. I keep saying I'm gonna read The Talisman by Stephen King, but I never do. I don't do it. Why? I like Stephen King alright. He's a pretty good author. He's got some good winners. He's got some ones that are a bit questionable, but most of those are written under Richard Bachman. Don't come at me, Roadwork fans. 1, because I don't believe you're real. 2, because if you are real, you're wrong. This is me actually having an opinion. Roadwork is trash. Anyway, regardless, out of Roadwork. I love all the Dark Tower books. Some of those books are very long, so it's not the length of The Talisman. It's, I guess, again, it's because it's like stars a child, I guess. And I just don't want to read about children. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's simple as that. But also, some people have said the book is a little bit of a slog, but other people said it was very important to me growing up. And I was like, oh, what is the truth? I do not know. If you like The Talisman, tell me why. Tell me why you like The Talisman. I think I've already done this joke once, but who cares? I actually had a good sleep last night. This is what you get with a good... Ow. Anyways, have you read any of these books? Let me know in the comments below. Bye. Stupid glasses.